Time for an update here on the Kawicki Driver Development Program Network, as we like to say. I'm Lance Allan. Have the pleasure of talking with Penn Sauter earlier in the year, and we bring Penn in to kind of update the progress of the 2026 season so far. Penn, welcome back to the program, the pride of DeForest, Wisconsin. How would you say your season is going so far, and give us some updates on what has happened since we talked last?
Yeah, I'd say a lot of up and downs. We've had really fast race cars pretty much every week. We haven't qualified outside the top 10 all year. So just, really fast race cars. Unfortunate things happen in the race, running up front at the sheer. We ended up finishing that one, just got too free, and I actually lost the lead with about 10 to go. And then, was racing for the lead at Marshfield this past Saturday, blow a tire, hit the wall. It's just one bad thing after another. But finding speed is always the hardest part to get in racing. So to be able to have speed is good, and looking forward to the next couple of months ahead. It's going to be a grind, but I think we're ready for it.
Ben, when you're young in your career and you're only 16 years old, I mean, you've got the future ahead of you and a lot of progress, a lot of growth to come. But how do you keep your chin up? Because like you said, things haven't exactly gone your way. And sometimes you have to learn early that racing isn't going to be all smooth. It's going to be ups and downs.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. I got a lot of people around me that can stay positive and be able to, kind of guide me through it. My dad's been a really big help. He's always tells me that he's proud of me and does whatever he can to let me know that I'm doing good. It's like I said, speed's the hardest thing to find, and for only being my second year in a super and kind of our first go around with this Fury chassis, it's really cool to have a lot of speed, and I know eventually we'll get it figured out, and hopefully Tuesday at Madison we can kind of get it turned around and start to be fast.
I like the fact that your dad has matured over the years. I think when he was younger, he would have been more frustrated. Now he's the one calming you down, right?
Yeah. I can't thank him enough. He's been a big help this year. It's last Saturday I was really down on myself, and he just kind of let me know that there's nothing you can do, and you just got to keep on the grind.
Is it shocking to you? I know anything can happen in racing, but is it shocking to you that so far, yeah, you've had good qualifying, you've had some good results, but you just haven't gotten into victory lane at this point?
Yeah, it's weird to me. I feel like we've had multiple races this year with cars capable of winning, and some of them have been my fault. At Kakana, we finished second. I thought I could have done a couple things differently and probably won there. Probably could have won this year if I would have done things differently on my end. And then obviously, like cases like last Saturday or maybe Jefferson or Norway, there's things that just happen that are out of my control that I feel like we have race cars that can win the race. So a little bit of both, but it shocked me a little bit, but racing, there's more bad days than good days. So you got to keep your head up and keep digging.
So, what is the biggest moment that you would say in your mind, like on track this year, and then maybe even off track as well?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest moment on track was probably the final restart at the Joe Shear. It's pretty cool. To a crown jewel event I pretty much went to every year as a kid, to be on the front row racing for the lead, even though the outcome wasn't how I wanted. I learned a lot and know what I got to do differently next time, because not really anything happened on my crew guys or my dad's end that screwed it up. It was more me. I kind of made some mistakes, missed some shifts, done things that I shouldn't have done, and I feel like those are really big learning moments that I learned a lot, and I can really use to in the future ahead, especially going back to Madison soon. So, and then off track, I feel like we had a share night at Culver's just a couple days ago, and we raised like over $1,000 for burn camp in one night. So that's super big for me, and looking forward to keep helping them throughout the year.
Well, now's the time of the program, Penn, where we announce kind of where you are so far in the standings. And to me, it's a little bit shocking, but also understandable because you've had that up and down season. So right now, you are currently in fourth position. And I know you race to win and you want to do better, but I think you've got a good chunk of the summer to go. So how do you feel about being in fourth, and how do you feel about, advancing up through the rest of the ranks with your competitors?
Yeah, I'm a little bit shocked myself, honestly. It's I would say have the most car count out of any kid in the program so far. So more cars, obviously harder to get better results. But just got to keep our head down and keep digging. There's not really much you can do. I feel like these summer months we got some races that suit me well coming up. I feel like last year at Slinger Nationals we had really good runs. Got Hawkeye coming up. I really really was strong there last year. So hopefully we can just start getting some wins. I feel like it's a big thing that we've lacked. We've done good with the charity work and everything else so far, just no results. So if we can keep doing that, we'll be good.
What's the immediate goal, and what are some of the races that people can see you at coming up here in the next little bit that you feel like, okay, I'm going to do this at this track, or I'm going to, basically improve something specifically here?
Yeah, Tuesday at Madison is going to be big for us. We had a lot of speed there in May. Had a lot of speed there last year with the Stars Tour. So I feel like we'll have a really strong run. If we can make it to the end, we'll be super good. So yeah, and then we got, obviously, like I said, the Slinger Nationals coming up. That's a long race, and last year we had a lot of speed. Just kind of had some misfortune. We still ended 7th, I think. So yeah, those are 2 races marked on my calendar, and then like I said, Hawkeye's right around there too. Track a lot like lacrosse, where we've had a lot of speed at lacrosse. So I feel like we'll be all right. And yeah, like I said, just got to keep our head up and try to get through this bad stretch here.
And I was in the crowd last year at the Slinger Nationals. You opened up a lot of eyes. I know, your mom was just down, from where I was sitting and stuff like that. And yeah, okay, 7th place, but that is usually a loaded field. You kind of look at that as one of your breakout moments. And then once again, from what you learned last year, that you're kind of looking forward to July in the Slinger Nationals.
Yeah, to drive around the outside of my dad and some other people that night was a big learning moment for me, and know that I had a fast enough race car. I had a tire starting to go down, and then we came in and changed it, and I was damn near a lap down, and I drove away from the leaders and passed a bunch of cars. So like you said, I learned a lot that night that I can put forward to this first Tuesday in July, and hopefully I can just come away with a good result. I feel like last year we were kind of back and forth to the back and the front, and if we can just stay up front all night, we'll be racing for a win at the end. That's a guarantee.
Obviously, the name of the program is Kawicki, front and center. I always love, preaching the good virtues of what Allan taught all of us and just what this program is all about. So once again, for people that maybe are kind of somewhat new to this, Penn, what has it been like representing the Kawicki program and just basically Allan's legacy in this great state, Badger State of Wisconsin?
Yeah, it's been super cool to be able to kind of go along with what the whole program is about. Having our mentors to lean on, having our meetings that can teach us a lot as drivers on and off the track. Yeah, but just to be able to run that quickie sticker on the side has been super cool for me. It's only 5 guys in the country get to do it at once, so to be able to be part of that 5 is super cool. And yeah, we just gotta be better. Honestly, I gotta be better. We just can't really make up many excuses for the things I've done to lose some races. So hopefully I can do my homework better before going to these races and put myself in the same positions, but have a different outcome.
You mentioned, some of the charitable opportunities, and that's what this Kawicki program is all about, is giving back to others. And you mentioned, Culver's just the other night, things like that. What is supporting Burn Camp and some of the other activities that you've been able to do mean to you?
It means a ton. Like I think I told you this when we first talked. I was supporting Bird Camp before even the program, so it's extra special to me. But now that I can do it and know that it's for a real cause, we've raised more money already through this year in June than we had in total in both years in the past. So to know that we're making a difference like that for those kids is super special to me. I've suffered with a couple burns myself, so and theirs are a lot worse than mine, I can tell you that. So to be able to know what they've gone through, but yet try to help them and have them go have a fun week in August at the camp is super cool to me.
Maybe it'll help some younger person, Penn. We haven't talked about this before, but can you share your experience with, you said you've been burned a couple of times and things like that to help a younger person? Because I know a lot of times, I was your age once upon a time, hard to believe, but true. Once upon a time, I was young. And, you're self-conscious, or you think, oh, nobody's gone through this like what I have, but you have a story to share. So what was it like for you, and what happened?
Yeah, so in 2024, it was my first year with the camp, just helping out and stuff. We took the cars down there, and you'd seen the kids walking around, and you've seen the ones that had, I'd say mild burns, and then you've seen the ones that have some really burns, that 3rd-degree burns that can really hurt you. And, you don't think much of it until you go through it. And then at the beginning of 2025, during the icebreaker, first race of the year, the foot box was something broke in it, and right next to the header, it burned my foot. I actually got a 3rd-degree burn on the side of my foot about 5 inches long. So, and it was about a month of recovery, wrapping it every day and just clothing it. And, the races after it hurt a ton. And then I kind of had a more appreciation for what they actually go through, and going back to camp in August last year was super helpful to me to understand what they go through and how actually affects their life. I mean, it affected my foot for a month. So the ones that have even bigger burns than me, it's super sad to see, but it's cool to be able to have them go to a camp and find people that have struggled like they have, and yet they're past it, and keep like I said a couple times in this call already, they keep digging with their life and chase their dreams.
You had a third-degree burn, and I'm glad that you overcame that. Is that something that you've still had to overcome, or something that will affect you for a while?
Yeah, I mean, you can still see it on my foot if you look at it close enough. So I don't know if it's something that'll ever go away, but I was pretty fortunate for it to not be a lot worse. And some kids, they have scars that they'll never get rid of. So it's sad, but they're some of the strongest people I've ever met, to be able to overcome what they have.
Absolutely. I think they're brave little warriors. So I think that's great that you're kind of helping them out, Penn. And the other thing is, I know you mentioned your dad kind of getting you through the ups and downs and highs and lows, but other people who've had the biggest impact on you so far in this program.
Yeah, my mentor Brian has been super huge. He understands that we probably have some of the toughest car counts up here in Wisconsin, and just how my year's been up and down. Obviously, he's worked in racing his whole life, so he understands that there's a lot of highs and lows, and he's been talking me through it and trying to help me with whatever I can. I got a lot of questions for him. Sometimes I probably wear him out a little bit, but he's listened to me. We've had a couple long phone calls, and he's even talked to my dad a little bit. So super special to have him. And Casey, he's been great. Ryan, Paul, all the guys, they've just been super cool to talk to and see what they have to say about the program. And I've been able to talk to all three of them. And I talk to Casey a lot, and he's super helpful. Whatever I need, I can kind of text him, call him, whatever I need. So yeah, he's been super special. And I just got to thank my sponsors. They're the ones that actually put the race car on the track. GSportTruck.com, Ford Performance, Oak Creek, Napa of Cheyenne. They're the guys that support it financially. And even like we were just talking about Bobby G, he comes and helps in the pits. He's a great sponsor. All my crew guys, Steven, Reed, my dad, they're big.
Yeah, Bobby Gutnick from Oak Creek Automotive, a great guy and great mentor. So you'll learn a lot from him. And then final thing, Penn, I like to leave the floor open to you for the final answer and final statement. But how do you keep your confidence up when when you have like at least half the season to go, even though you've had a little bit of a rough stretch? And what do you tell Penn Sauter fans out there to that have stuck with you or whatever, that what you have coming up and the best is yet to come?
Yeah, I mean, just as I look at it, we've had really good speed. Knock on wood. Hopefully, we can keep that speed. But just at the end of the races, if we can just finish them off, like we would have had so many top five, so many probably wins this year if we could just finish these races off. So, yeah, just got to keep your confidence up. I know it's hard to, this is probably the worst stretch of racing luck that I've ever had. So if we can just keep our confidence up and just keep our head down and hopefully go chase some wins, I think we'll gain a lot of confidence. Confidence is a real thing in racing, and it can help you a lot. So if we can just get that little boost, I feel like we'll go on a stretch here that is probably 5 or 6 wins in a month if we can really just fly. So I feel like we'll be all right.
Yeah, confidence and momentum are real, my friend. So Penn, thank you for the time. And of course, we wish the Gremlins to go away, and we wish you the best of luck going forward this season.
Yeah, thank you, Lance. It was fun talking to you again.
You as well. That's Penn Sauter right here on the Kawicki Driver Development Program. Thanks for watching, everybody.